Alright, hello and welcome everyone. It was weird. I was like at my desk and I was kind of screwing around a little bit and I was like, you know what? I don't have anything particularly pressing to do. I have no excuse to not cast some Alchemy League, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to cast some Alchemy League. Help me get ahead of it. Maybe if I can get another cast in this weekend, we can start to get ahead on the recordings. If you guys have not seen, Hyder, he's been helping with the casting. He seems to have casted a bunch of games yesterday, I believe it was, or the day before. Although he has not posted the recording for where those can be found yet, so keep an eye out for that. Because Hyder's an excellent caster, and we're very grateful to have his help. And between Hyder and myself, and hopefully Gotts, who is new, we'll be able to get a number of games casted of yours. So welcome the Otter One. Thank you for coming. So anyway, it's a little late. I know, who am I to talk? It's probably like 2 a.m. where the Otter One is, but this is a nocturnal otter here. I have to work tomorrow morning, but I figured, you know what? Let's give it a try. Let's see if we can squeeze a cast in before bedtime. So here we are, me wasting more time telling you about my schedule, and really all we care about are the games. But I just want you guys to know that I'm really excited to be here. It's kind of exciting to do this at a different time. Maybe we'll get like a bunch of the US people coming in for the stream, or maybe nobody will watch, who knows. But doesn't matter. I do this for you guys, so it doesn't really matter who's here watching. Although if you're here, I'm very, very grateful. But you don't have to be, is what I mean. So Alchemy League, what is it? Well, it's a custom map league. Every season we try to go to a different place. We've been to Greece. We've been to Alaska. Otter One's like, no, tell me all about your week. So we've been to Greece, we've been to Alaska, and this season we're going to space. So we try to go somewhere new. It doesn't always work out that way. It's very difficult to get like a team of people coordinated to all like make thematic maps around a single concept. Usually when Age of Empires personalities do a map contest, the best that you're ever going to see is they'll say, we want it about this, or we want it to feature that. And they'll have like S-tier tournaments with like $100 prizes per map, and they will struggle to get a cohesive map pack. So we really have to work very hard. We don't have those kinds of resources, and we spell out. We got component specifications for all of the maps telling us exactly what they're going to be like, but still leaving freedom to the map makers in between to make a lot of the important choices. So it's a lot of work, and we're very grateful for all the people who have helped out to get these maps where they need to be. A lot of them were originally started by a friend of mine called BP, but he is not around. He's not available for Age of Empires right now, unfortunately. And we actually did plan on doing these maps for a previous season of the league, but it didn't work out. He wasn't able to finish a lot of the stuff, so eventually we were able to use the maps because a lot of people did work hard on making them. So this season we're going to space. It's all about the custom maps. We got a custom matchmaker that tries to put people close to other players of similar skill level. It's all one big division, and it's a very unique system, and I'm quite proud of that, and I'm very grateful that these guys are here supporting the league, because it's not really something that's very money efficient. These guys are here because they love Age of Empires. They like to try something different, and the very least I can do is try to cast their games when I have time. As a Season 5 host, you're not allowed to eat solid food. Uh-oh. Well, I may have violated that one. Alright, so today we've got two sets. We've got, well, actually I kind of have the scoreboard up on the screen. Well, that's kind of a little bit of a spoiler. Oops. Alright, well, don't look at that. Or just skip through that part, or don't skip back to it. We've got Superhero versus Lion, and then we have Maxi McZek versus the Napoleon. And the reason that Maxi McZek and Napoleon do not have a map draft is because they are on the round wild. So this is supposed to be round 1 for Lion and Superhero, but somehow Superhero accidentally picked Neptune. I don't know. Round 1 map of the round is Syzygy, so I'm just noticing it now. I'm not gonna punish them unless they do it again, but guys, pay attention. You're supposed to play the map of the round. Yeah, exactly. So I think that Superhero like misread it, and he thought that it was round 2 or something, and picked Neptune, because Neptune is the map for round. No, actually, it's not. That's yeah. I honestly don't know, because Neptune isn't the map of the round for a long time. So I don't know. But the good news is that they did tie. So I mean, nobody's really getting ahead in their division this way. They're not falling behind, but they're not getting ahead either. Not that that's a spoiler or anything like that, but we're here mostly to have fun, so, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, so we'll take a look at it. You're right, the Otter one, but it is kind of unfortunate that they didn't pick the right map for the map of the round, but hopefully they're entertaining games. So Maxime Exec versus the Napoleon, again, no map draft, so we will be pleasantly surprised, basically. It is... You literally get there, and your opponent's like, "This is the map that we're playing." So it's kind of compensation. The round wild, the way that the seeding algorithm works is it can't guarantee that everybody will get one match every week, and so there are a few leftover matchups, and this is one of them. And their whole thing is that they can play at any time in the sprint, and they just happen to play early, which is nice. They weren't putting it off, so. The compensation for the fact that they don't have a set week to play is that they can play whatever they want. I sure hope that wasn't a spoiler. Yeah. So, anyway, spoilers, no spoilers, you know, let's get through this so that I don't spoil anything else. So the first one we've got Superhero versus Lion. These guys, we'll show the elos through Capture Age, which I'm using. They're 14 to 1500. I think Lion's a little bit better than 1400, honestly. At least in these sorts of weird settings. He loves that kind of thing. He's been around this community for forever. Pretty much ever since it started. He was an original member of Viridarx. And Superhero 55, well, technically, if you count like how long I've known people, I'm trying to think if Superhero 55 played in the King of Ireland tournament. I don't know if the Otter one remembers whether or not Superhero 55 played in the King. I might be thinking of somebody different. But Superhero's been around for a while. He is also known for being a big fan of custom maps. So it's only fitting that both of these guys ended up here. He picks Neptune, believing that it's supposed to be the map of the round. And then they take turns discarding maps. Lion discards Syzygy, which is kind of a scary map. It's like our Mega Random. Anything can happen. It's probably the hardest, but it's also more interesting. And then they discarded Singularity, Jupiter, Asteroid Belt for Superhero. And then Lion is just randomly discarding Comet and Cataclysm. And it looks like that leaves Mars and one other. I wish I could see which one was being discarded by the admin. So there's 2 maps left, and the draft will pick one of them randomly, and the one that it picks is Mars here. But it could have been, let's see, Comet, Cataclysm, Syzygy, Asteroid Belt, Jupiter. What's the other one I'm thinking of here? I don't know. You let me know. You let me know the Otter one. Point is there's another. Yeah, I know, but it's like past my bedtime, and it's not past your bedtime. But there's another map, and they're not playing it. I'll only let the non-spoiler slide if you pass this memory test. Oh no! Don't do this to me, Otter. Ah, I know. Saturn. So they had a 50% chance between getting Mars or Saturn, and they got Mars. So they're going to play on Mars. And this is their Civ draft. This Civ draft was designed by Shixo, who knows something about Civ drafts. I'm like a random map guy. This is my background is random map scripts, but apparently people were like, you know, it's super easy to set up a very fun Civ draft that'll double the fun output of your league. And I was like, all right, well, let's do it. And so they're like, all right. Here it is, and I'm like, okay, looks good. And they're like, no, seriously, you're the host. You tell us whether or not this is good. And I'm like, I have no idea whether or not this is good. So, Shixo picked this, and if you guys think it could be improved, he's a really nice guy. He's very open to feedback. So, we could improve it for next season. He made a wild draft. See, I have no idea. I look at this draft and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's some civs. That's nice. Because I'm totally into the map side of things. The otter one likes it more than the only bands. Alright, so the superhero, he's picking Georgians, Saracens, Portuguese, and the lion picks Romans, Spanish, Goths, and Britons. And they... well, at the beginning, it bans 5 civilizations randomly, and then they each globally ban 2 civs, and then they pick 4, and then I guess they take turns sniping civs. So, these are the 3 potential civs that we could see on 2 games. So, we'll see. I'm surprised that Lion banned Saracens over Georgians. I think he might regret that. I don't know how much Lion has played the game since Georgians became a thing, but he may regret not banning Georgians, but we'll see. Alright, guys, I really got to get started here. Otherwise, you guys are going to keep me up all night. So the first game is on Neptune. Let's go. So here's what you need to know about Neptune. We were like, well, what if we made a water map without any water play? So this map is entirely either water or mangrove shallow terrain with like water masked on top of it. So you can walk across this. We see that Lion is up here at like 10 o'clock, 10 or 11 o'clock, and he's playing as the green Spanish. And Superhero 55 is here, and he's playing as the red Portuguese. So they both seem to think that this is going to be a good Fast Castle unique unit map, because both of these civilizations are good for that kind of thing. Yeah, that's true. It is like 6 or 7 hours earlier for me. I really should not be complaining. If the otter one can be here, so can I. So anyway, so this is a land map. This is a pure land map. Even though all of the terrains are navigable, it is a land map because there is no beach terrain. You cannot build a dock on this map. Overlay. Oh, right. Yes, overlay. Thank you. You guys don't want to see me talking the whole time. Let's do the overlay. Yeah, you can't build a dock on this map. So why would you do this? Well, the only reason to have all of this water terrain is so that we can have this transport ship here. Now, in the past, we've seen Hyder cast some things where people were like using the transport ship to do a boar lure. Like the transport is faster than the villagers, so the villagers would get in the transport ship, move over to the boar, shoot, and then walk away while the transport ship was blocking the boar. And it was pretty wild. This transport ship is special. All right, this transport ship may not look all that great, but here's the thing about the transport ship. It can store 232 units. And if it is destroyed, it respawns. So you see all these white dots in the center of the map here? These are invisible Gaia units, and they are basically there to prevent somebody from camping the center of the map with their garrison transport ship and then just never being defeated. So we were like, alright, if we're going to do this and we're going to have a space that you can kind of sail across and sneak attack somebody with a transport ship, this superhero's bringing in this elephant here. Let's see the Bermuda Triangle get some kills. I don't know, that would be pretty funny. I mean, Neptune is known for its various storms. But we were like, if we're going to have, you know, give people the ability to sail across and sneak attack somebody with their transport ship, then we are going to make it so that you cannot camp the center of the map with it and just avoid being defeated. And as we can see already, Superhero 55 is taking some fire from the center of the planet. So I think you can sail through the center of the planet, but you'll take a lot of damage and you can't stay there. Because if you stay there, it will kill you. Now, this transport ship will inherently heal itself. It has regeneration properties. And if it is deleted, then it respawns. It is its own dead ID. So you can never lose this transport ship, but you also can't stay in the game with just a transport ship. So this transport ship, we might see it come into play later. We might see the players use it, or we might not. Superhero is coming over here. He's going to find Warlion's town center. Does Warlion react? Yes, he does. So we can see that Superhero manages to save his transport ship. Not that it really matters very much. But, yeah, it'll regenerate and he'll feel a little bit better. I was able to out-micro that town center. So the transport ship regenerates. We can see that Lion is coming in here. Is he going to steal the sheep? No. Lion is too proud to steal the sheep. That is very honorable. I don't necessarily know if I can say the same thing. So Superhero going to come back there and claim the sheep for himself. This War Lion is a lion of honor. Nope. I mean, technically, you really don't need the hostile guy units in the center. You can see that. What does Superhero do? Okay, he's gonna take these box turtles. That's fine, as long as you're kind of around the edge of the planet. You won't get shot at. But if you start getting out of range of like arbalisters, like when you're more than 8 tiles or so inside of space, and Warlion has found this too. He's kind of looking at it. Maybe he's thinking about doing a man-at-arms surprise attack here. Probably not, though. They're probably both going fast castle into a unique unit. And Warlion's got his own Photon Man, too, following along. So for us, we are standard victory in Alchemy League. So, you know, if you have a villager inside of a transport ship camping the center of the map, it's true. Without these hostile Gaia units, nobody can get at you. If they weren't here, nothing would shoot at your transport ship, and you'd be able to camp there indefinitely until your opponent got frustrated and rage quit. Now, we're better than that, right? We try to design our maps so that stuff like that is impossible. We just make it impossible for people to be toxic instead of just telling them not to be toxic, because toxicity is a point of view. But if you design the map, then you design the map a certain way, and they have to do it. Alchemy League is standard victory, though. So if we didn't have these hostile Gaia units in the center of Neptune, then what would happen is if you were just camping the center of the map and you had lost everything else and you just had the one villager in the transport ship, then your opponent would just build a wonder and win that way. Or get all the relics. That would be even simpler. And then just win from the countdown. But we want our maps to work in all settings. You know, we are platforming these maps. We're getting people excited about these maps. We're telling them about these maps. And we want people to be able to use them for their own purposes in whatever setting they have. Whether it's standard victory, whether or not it's 1v1, or whether or not it's team game. Because we believe that it is important to establish trust in custom maps. And I know a lot of tournament hosts will be like, well, if it helps you get the map done faster, we only need it for 2v2 or we only need it for 1v1. But in my opinion, that is not good for the custom map community in the long term, because then people see that map, they get excited about it, and they go to download it and they find that they can't play it with their friends, and it like lowers the standards for what custom maps can be expected to do. And that is not what this community is about, right? This community is about telling you that you can make wonders happen in Age of Empires with custom maps. We are literally going to space. We want custom maps to look good. We want the custom map making community to look good. So yeah, we're going to make sure that our maps support every reasonable configuration. So we're not going to ask maps to like support a 4v4 on a tiny map size. That's just ridiculous. But in general, if you can play it in the ranked queue, you can get it out of our custom maps. Otter1 says, I want to see a player lose 60 units to the storm. I would love to see that too. I think that would be really funny. So let's try to zoom in a little bit here so that the game can progress. It seems like my PC, although I've upgraded the processor, it's still a little bit slow. Both of these players are on their way up to the feudal age. We're looking at 26 and 24 pop respectively. They both have similar town center efficiencies here. Only 6 seconds of idle time from both. Lion is much faster though. He is going up on 24 pop, and it looks like he's actually already got the food to click up to the castle age. So all that Lion needs to do is build his market blacksmith. He's got the market going, and I don't know if he's going to buy a little bit of wood and build the blacksmith or what, but he's pretty much got the resources. Superhero is coming over here, and this Photon Man shanking the villager a little bit. You have to be careful about this Photon Man, because even though he doesn't have range, this Photon Man is a reskinned Joan of Arc. And so this Photon Man has 1 armor, and this Photon Man will therefore only take 2 hits from villagers, or 2 damage from villagers per hit instead of the usual 3. So he's a little bit more dangerous. Now he's got a little bit less health and attack, I believe, than a traditional scout. But he's a little bit harder to kill. Surprisingly hard to kill. It's one of those deceptive things, right? Shouldn't a superhero be faster than a lion? Well, it depends. Some superheroes are not the fast type. Some superheroes are the slow and steady type. Think about the Hulk, for instance. So Warlion is on his way up to the Castle Age now. He had a little bit of a slight delay. Maybe he had to make some more villagers than he was planning on, because Superhero was over here harassing his woodline, but he's on stone now, so we can expect Lion is going to sail across the map with his transport ship and drop a castle on Superhero, and we'll see how that goes. I liked the bad Greek sword better. Really? You liked that swordsman from the Greeks better than this one? He was different. That one was more damaging but had less health. So if you microed him well, you could actually do a little bit better, I think. Oh boy. Lag. Let me see if I can close some of these tabs out. See if I can devote some more processor speed to the game here. Internet Explorer. Actually, Firefox is very demanding resource-wise. Lion somehow managed to save this Photon Man. The confusing part about the swordsman, the Photon guy just always wrecks my vills. The confusing part about the swordsman was that the rate of his attack was not the same as his animation, so it made it hard to predict when he was going to get that swing in. So Superhero is over here with a landing party. What is this? Superhero has moved his swordsman in here. This is kind of like a secondary safety mechanism for your swordsman. He's trying, I think, a transport trick to get across the wall. I'm not really sure what's going on. But he is taking a look. He's checking out what Lion is doing. He's going to discover the stone here, but obviously Superhero is even better player than I am, so he's not going to be surprised by this at all. He already knows that Lion is Spanish. He knows about the fast castle. Superhero is going to be Castle Age, not too far behind Warlion, and we're probably going to see dueling castles here. See whoever can drop the castle on the other. Superhero has been here taking stone as well. So I'm not really sure what's up with the Photon Man shenanigans, but people do seem to like to jump that Photon Man in and out of the transport. He beats a Luneville, right? I believe he does. And of course, unlike a regular scout, this Photon Man does not get stronger with age. He doesn't get an upgrade like the regular scout cavalry does in Feudal Age, and Warlion is actually going to build this castle defensively. This surprises me. This is a very conservative castle. Both players are kind of... They don't want to take the risk of sailing across the map and dropping a castle on their opponent. And Superhero positioning this transport ship in Warlion's woodline, just being a nuisance. Decides to head back. So maybe we'll see the transport ship carry some conquistadors across the map and drop them back here somewhere. Warlion is going to get this castle up. I wonder if Superhero is going to lose his scout. Yep, there it is. So the scout dies, transport ship comes back, and Superhero has to loses it again. But the transport ship is immortal. It is constantly reincarnating. So that is unfortunate for Superhero, but at least he didn't lose his transport ship for good. Now I have to say that I made a mistake, and one of these maps does not have the Photon Man scout, so we're going to have to do an update, very unfortunately, to Comet, and I'll probably issue that soon. I'm surprised I haven't issued it already, to be honest, but part of me was a little bit hesitant to release an update so soon, because maybe if somebody else had another update idea, I would do it at the same time. Can one trap it? I believe so. I believe that Lion could wall in this transport ship if he wanted. Now, what I don't know is if you can kill it and then throw down a market foundation or something to prevent it from respawning. That would be a very elaborate maneuver, but it's potentially possible. I just don't know. Never tried it. But you may be asking, Otter, because you have experience preventing farms from respawning. Maybe there's a custom map that you like that farms reseed automatically for free on, but you can interrupt it if you do something else. Or maybe Akil, you know, the farms being destroyed, you remember that. If you built on it, you could prevent the farm from coming back. Okay, so here come the conquistadors from Warlion. Superhero, if he's not careful, could lose some villagers. Let's see where those conquistadors are going. It would look funny. Well, it'd be pretty annoying. Alright, so here comes Lion. He is going to find... If he plays this right, he could kill 4 villagers right now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That hurts big time. Superhero was ahead on villagers, and now he's behind. Warlion has added a second town center as well. Both players are on 2 town centers. And Superhero is starting to wall. So actually the closest standard map analog to Neptune is actually, I would argue, Oasis. Superhero going monk defense. He's going to try to get some juicy conversions on these conquistadors. I don't know if he'll get any, though. They're castle units, so they tend to be easier to convert, but they're also fast and can run away. Otter appreciates the micro that was required to kill all 4 villagers without losing a single conquistador while being fired at by the castle. Indeed, that was some good micro. So he's just going to come back here. So what's the plan from Superhero? I mean, we saw Warlion make some things. I guess he's making a couple of piano cannons here. And he's making some monks. And are we going to see Superhero attack Warlion? Well, you know, this is a very logical place to build your castle. Why? Because these mangroves kind of funnel enemy transport ships into sailing in this way. So you can't really get in this way, and so you can't really use your transport ship. I mean, I guess you could use it to come around this way and go around the mangrove shallows, but then you might as well just walk around. So, I mean, this is kind of the only place to build it, and both players did build their castle, like on the front of their base, to block off the entrance through the planet. Because they don't want to get surprised. And who does? Guys, look at this Stormy Dog here. We did the Stormy Dog cheat unit. He's basically a bird. It's a Gaia unit that just flies around and does nothing except lag the game. Superhero's transport ship hugging the base of the castle. I wonder if Lion is trying to convert it. I don't believe that you can convert this transport ship. So, transport ship dying, and it's going to respawn. Superhero continues to move it. Dies again. Superhero's transport ship is like having a really rough day here. Continues to reincarnate. He just can't lose it. Or maybe he was housed, I don't know. Can I make the game sound a bit louder? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure how I would do that. Oh, what is this? Guess I could try turning it up a little bit. Guys, let me know. Actually, yes, I think I can... If that doesn't do it, I think I have another trick. So these monks... Oh, look at this. They're gonna convert a conquistador. I see. So here's what Superhero is doing. He is using the transport ship to increase the speed of his army. Whereas monks and organ guns are inherently slow. Press escape. Or on OBS. Yeah, I think I can do that. One sec. Let me turn that up just slightly. How's that? Is that a little bit better? I think that Superhero is using this transport ship to help move an otherwise very slow army around. So Superhero is here to do some damage. He's got some organ guns, he's got some monks, and he has a conquistador. He has a conquistador that he converted. The other one wants it up a little bit more. Organ gun is tanking a little bit of arrow fire. How's this, Otter? It's about as loud as I dare go. So is Superhero going to get redemption? He could convert a bunch of buildings in here. Lion is not really prepared to fight this. He's got to throw down some stables and make some light cav, but he just wants to outboom it. He's building another town center here. So Superhero is only on 2 town centers. He does have similar villager count. Warlion is slightly ahead, and Superhero has 14 military to Lion's 9. So it looks like Lion has a raid back here in Superhero's wood line. Sorry about that, guys. I missed that. The monk is trying to defend, but these conquistadors kill him. How did they get in? How did they get in? This is all closed off. I don't understand that. We never saw how they got in. Maybe they ran in somehow, but I don't see how they could have gotten in. So both players raiding each other. Lion needs to get out of here, though. He's getting kind of overpowered by these organ guns, but he did get some good damage in. Lion has killed 15 eco units from Superhero, and Superhero has only killed 2 eco units from Warlion. So overall, Lion has done he's achieved the lion's share of the eco damage. Between the house and the wood. So like right here maybe. I don't know. Lion has made a mangonel to defend. Superhero really needs redemption now. This monk running for his life. He's going to get in this transport ship and escape. It's going to be like his getaway vehicle. But yeah, if Superhero wants to move forward, he really needs to get redemption or he needs to get Imperial Age. He cannot do both. Minus 7k. What's that mean? It means Superhero has collected more res than Lion somehow, despite having fewer villagers and having more eco kills, or Lion killing more of his economy, which is kind of interesting. Superhero has had a more efficient economy. Let's see what my settings for capture age are. I feel like I've got them turned all the way down to bottom. Yeah, looks like they're... Whenever I upgrade hardware, capture age upgrades its resource demands. It's kind of annoying. T90 lost 7,000 viewers once on a bad joke. For the lion's share joke. Oh. I see. Well, I was just looking at the res collected, and it did look that way. Poor T90. I wish I had those kinds of problems. Well, he's worked hard to get where he is. So it looks like Lion is not satisfied with the defenses of this area, so he's going to build himself a castle. And Superhero is not satisfied with the offenses of this area, so he's going to build himself a castle as well. Luckily for Lion, though, he's actually going to spot it. I think Lion spotted it. Hold on. No, he did not spot it. We can see the range here through the part of the spectator, but Lion did not see it. He was very close to seeing it, but he failed to see it. Superhero is getting the range upgrade for his castle. He's getting Imperial Age, and he's getting Redemption. So Superhero is looking to be the aggressor here. And Lion is looking to be the boomer. Oh, here he comes. Here comes the villager in slow motion. Besides for my jokes, because they are god tier. Every streamer like, oh, all right, now Warlion has spotted it. So Warlion knows that a castle is going up here, but having good jokes are essential. Yes, so the mill is up too. So Warlion now knows that Superhero is going to try to attack him from this direction. So what's the response? I don't necessarily know if I see any. You know, it's so busted too, because like I had pretty much the same computer, actually an inferior computer for the King of Ireland tournament, and I actually could do the King of Ireland tournament okay with Capture Age, and now I can't. And I don't know what's changed really. It's probably just gotten more and more demanding. Very, very annoying. So Warlion is going to try to take as much of this gold as he can before Superhero's offensive pushes into this area. And these villagers are going somewhere. I'm not sure where they're going. Maybe to help out, build the lumber camp, and take the gold. Is the only thing that I can think of. Superhero will be Imperial Age in just a few seconds, and then presumably we will see trebuchets rolling out of this castle. Neither player has done much with their transport ship, as far as I can tell. Lion's got a pig back here just sort of chilling. Yeah, Lion's transport ship is here. And Superhero, I'm not sure what happened to his transport ship. But it's unkillable, so it should be somewhere. And both players are just treating this like Oasis. Oasis with some obstacles. So Warlion has to get out of here. He took the gold that he could. Of course, he's got more gold over here, and he's got more gold back here. I believe that Lion knows about both of those golds. Wait, what? He doesn't know about this gold here? Ooh, that is unfortunate. It's just barely out of exploration range. Yeah. So he does not know about that gold. Does he know about this gold? Yes, he does. Wait a second. Well, it's on the mini-map, but we can't see it. I don't really know. He might be the pacified lion soon. I don't know. He hasn't been playing much Age of Empires lately. He's mostly been chasing gazelle and fighting off hyenas. So, he might just be derusting. Otter says, I could cast every 6-hour FFA with 300 pop fine for 5 years. And then last year I started having issues. It might be... Yeah. I think that Capture Age has become more demanding. So this castle is under siege, and Lion has made his decision. He's building stables. He's building stables, and he's collecting relics, which is good. He's built a university, which tells us he's planning on going up to the next stage. He has 46 on food, and he has about a 9-villager advantage over Superhero. And so he's presumably planning on clicking up to the Imperial Age at any moment now. So he will probably go Imperial Age and Hussar. That would be my guess. Is he committed to repairs? Yes, he is. You can't really see the villagers very well behind the mangrove forest, but they are there. You need 4 villagers to offset the damage done by a single trebuchet. It's the game that became more demanding. All those DLCs with built-in extra games. What? No. How can that be, the Otter One? How can that be? So what? You got a few more objects to choose from when you make units or when it sets up the map. I feel like that's... You know, Capture Age is more of the graphical interface. It seems like there's more sprites moving around and stuff. Maybe that's in part because of the game. I'm not sure. Uneven ground. I don't know that it's the game, the Otter One. Maybe you're right. I guess you'd have to ask people that tried casting with just the game. You know, could they do the 300 pop 6-hour FFA with just the game for 5 years with no problem, and are only now having issues? You know, has Has the game without Capture Age increased in demand as well? That would be my first question. So Lion, he cannot keep up here. He's got 2 trebuchets working on him and a 3rd thinking about it, so this castle will go down. CI needs the game to run at the same time. That's true, but the game does not need Capture Age to run. So you could compare the performance of the game now to how it performed 5 years ago, and if it's the same, then you could probably assume that something else is causing the lag. Maybe Capture Age itself. They started struggling too. Wait, Capture Age is struggling? I thought they were doing really well. I believe that they're hiring, in fact. And isn't Capture Age commissioned to, like, do the next DLC for Age of Empires or something? I don't really know much about the geopolitics of the AoE2 community. I just kind of do my own thing, you know, and let those guys do what they want to. You know, we're really about custom maps. We don't have a lot of overlap with the other communities too much. Probably the community that we have the biggest overlap with is the IU. If you really want to know the truth, because they do crazy maps too, but they do it in a different way. Ah, okay, all right, that makes sense. Sorry, I missed that part. The Otter one. People who only cast in-game started struggling more as well. So the game itself is more demanding now. That is very unusual. They've had all these years and all of this money to maintain the game, and they just can't. It's just a cash cow. Slow motion mangonels. They actually kill a trebuchet. That's a pretty good micro, but the monks managed to convert a mangonel. There are some pikemen here to keep these monks safe. Lion, he has some light cav, but he doesn't have a lot of light cav. Even though Lion has a ton of resources, he's rich. He just got to the Imperial Age. He's going to be throwing down a few houses, and he's also going to be researching chain barding armor. But yeah, I think that from now on, I'm not going to be using Capture Age in my streams, which just sucks, because that was one of my motivations to upgrading my processor, was the hope that it would improve the performance of my PC enough to cast in Capture Age, but it's just such a pain. Warlion installed it nicely. He did. He did. He's fully boomed. He's got a bunch of resources. He's getting the final armor upgrade. He can't afford Hussar yet. Although, you know, Superhero is not all in with this push. Superhero has 3 town centers behind this. And he's just pushing, he's putting pressure on Lion, but he's not doing so at his own expense. Slow motion. I forget what was so compelling about Capture Age exactly. Why I needed Capture Age specifically for this season of the league. I'm not sure. Maybe it was to better show the maps. Don't know. But if the Otter one knows all of the hotkeys, then he can point me in the right direction. Yeah, let me pause this for 1 sec. So we're about to see these light cav come in and charge, but before I do that, I'm going to change this the scene over, and we're going to go to Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. So there we go. Game is paused. It's unfortunate that we can't do this in Capture Age. Alright, we will resume here just a sec. So we got all these light cavs, and they're about to charge in on Superhero's army. There are some pikemen. We'll see. It's going to be a mess. So we will trigger the fog of war. We're going to look at this from Superhero's perspective, actually. And let's go in and see. So Superhero. Alright. Let's go. Ah! No! No! Okay, so, well, that was very, very fast. Warlion won that engagement. I didn't see how it happened, but he did well. Superhero wants to get this castle up. There are some hussars trying to deny it. Pikemen are following. I think Superhero will get this castle up. He has enough villagers. Now they're halberdiers. Halberdiers are very devastating against hussars, but there are a few conquistadors here. And they want to deny the castle, but they cannot. Alright, so now what do you do if you're Superhero? You're Portuguese. Superhero could actually Feitoria boom, but I don't think he needs to. There are enough resources on the map that he doesn't want to. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with Fog of War here. When I click it, it like undoes it. It's strange. It's like the opposite setting. Yeah. Yeah, it was, okay, so Superhero is here, and I mean, he is making progress. He's doing the castle creep with the Treb. Warlion accidentally sending his Photon Man forward brings it back. I'm not really sure why Warlion is trying to save this Photon Man at this point. But let's uncheck the Fog of War, or check the Fog of War, to get the opposite effect. We see Lion is boomed up. I believe he still has... Let's cycle through this and see. He's got 98 villagers. Well, he's got 93 villagers. Superhero has 98. So Warlion wants to come in with the Hussar, but there are too many monks, too many pikemen. Well, mostly it's the halberdiers, actually. The monks he would love to kill. Just make it so that we see everything. Yes, we see everything now. So here's the thing about their unit choices. I can already tell that Superhero is going to win this, because Superhero has the slow army comp, and Warlion, he's got a fast army, but you know, there's not a lot of space to maneuver here. Maybe the only chance for Warlion is he could come over here and he could use mobility and could raid the other side. And we actually see Warlion is kind of starting to work on this. He sent some villagers across to build some siege workshops. Now, I don't know if Superhero has seen this. I don't believe that he has. I can't really tell what Superhero knows about. I don't think he's seen it. But these are illuminated, so I'm not really sure. I don't think he's seen it, though. It's not on his mini-map, so Superhero does not know that this is coming. He's too busy fighting over here. Halb, Oregon, BBC is a great composition. I agree, and Superhero has 2 of those things. He does not have Bombard Cannons. Bombard Cannons would help him out a lot against these mangonels. Or he could use Redemption Monks. But he can't really push without siege weapons here anymore. So Superhero is going to have to get his siege weapons together. He does have a better army, and I think he does have a better economy, but Warlion actually has siege weapons, and he wants to make them. He's got these siege workshops down here. Let's see what Warlion is doing for the siege weapons. What's the plan with these siege workshops? They are not making anything yet. No, Lion, no. Oh, now he's telling Superhero that he's over here. So maybe Superhero is feeling paranoid and he's building another castle to help defend his economy. He's built up in kind of this rung in between these two. And these players may choose to play Ring Around the Rosie here. They've kind of avoided the middle. I'm surprised somebody hasn't sailed across and dumped a bunch of units yet on anybody else. In-game spectate is pretty broken. Yes, it is going to be siege rams, looks like. Warlion is making regular battering rams for now, and he's going to upgrade them to siege ram when he has the resources. But for now, I guess he's just going to knock on the door. Does not want to hide this. He's just going to come in here and just start tearing down buildings. I love siege rams. I think they're fantastic. Superhero losing his castle here. That is not good at all. Has the balance of power shifted? Has Lion turned this around? Is Superhero going to be defeated now? Lion has a lot of halberdier. Or, sorry, Superhero has a lot of halberdier. He's got monks. He's got organ guns. So we'll see. I'm not really sure why these monks are just kind of running up. I guess Superhero must have clicked on the mangonels, because that's what he wanted to select. Sucks about Capture Age, though. Kind of embarrassing starting your stream in Capture Age. Superhero deciding not to fight this. Where is this? Okay, this is him relocating his wood line. Warlion destroying this town center with the rams, and now he's going to work on the market and some houses. Maybe Lion has made a comeback here. So if you're Superhero, you got to do that gate trick where you build like the gate so that the melee units can't get the surround. This transport ship is going to go down. This actually could keep Warlion busy for a while. It's going to go down, but then it comes back. And Superhero's out of military. Where's Superhero's army? He's got no army left. Lion with the comeback as Superhero calls the GG. Wow. I was not expecting that at all. I don't know how these Hussar managed to overpower Superhero's army, or where all of Superhero's resources went. He had 2,000 wood in the bank, 800 gold, and a lot of food, but he never had any siege. Never had any siege, even though he had the resources for siege. So, Warlion taking the first game. Now we go on to the next match. Let's take a look at the statistics here. Lion better across the board for everything except society. More kills, fewer deaths. Superhero with more buildings raised. Superhero, 4 castles. Lion with 2 relics. The light cav came with good timing. So, the next game that they played is actually, I guess, Mars, but they called it Game 1. It's the opposite from the draft. I think these guys got very confused. Very confused with the maps. So, here's Mars. We're going to uncheck the Fog of War. Okay, this is working again. We got our Stormy Dogs exploring across the map. And here's the thing about this map. There's no wood. I mean, there is wood, but the wood looks like columns. You see, people think that there's ancient life on Mars, or maybe that Mars used to host ancient civilizations that were destroyed by nuclear war. And that's why the planet is associated with the god of war and death and carnage. So, we've got all kinds of impact craters. We've got all kinds of columns left over from ancient civilizations. And we've got Olympus Mons in the center, with a few Photon Mans to just guard. Now, these Photon Mans are not as weak as your starting Photon Man, but they're not as strong as the real Photon Man. Only 2 neutral space guys. Yep, there's only 2 up here. I mean, you can't build up there, and there's not as much going for it up there. But why does a Singularity have ruins then? Well, because in Singularity, maybe there was an ancient civilization on a planet that got crushed up 1,000,000 years ago, and it's being sucked into the Singularity. And you also got to understand that as you get closer and closer, well, no, true, nobody lived on a Singularity, but Singularities have a way of destroying civilization. Maybe there's a very unfortunate planet that got sucked into the Singularity. So, and the other thing you have to remember about Singularities is the time dilation effect. As you get closer to the event horizon of the Singularity, time can't even escape, because time is affected by gravity, and gravity is so extreme that time slows down. So you could have all of these ruins from ancient civilizations circling the Singularity, but never quite making it in, because, well, time is getting slower and slower. It feels like it would crush ruins. Well, excuse me, Otter, but it feels like no one could survive in Martian atmosphere, and yet here we are. That's even less ancient ruins. Where? On Mars? Well, they're ancient ruins, but there are also rock formations. People have said that there are rock formations. You know, Mars used to have running water. There are rocks on Mars nowadays that look like they were weathered by moving water. So, we kind of have that here, except these are more so desert rocks that were shaped by winds. But, we've got all kinds of mineral deposits and rocks and outcroppings and columns to chop. These are kind of like little mini forests out here, I like to think. So it's quite interesting, really. So we can see what Superhero's understanding of the map is. He doesn't know where his opponent is yet, but he's on the lookout for him. And let's see what the Lion knows. Lion is looking for Superhero over here. Has not found him yet. It would look like find newly fresh buildings then. Oh, well, if no time passes, it's no ancientness. Well, maybe the civilization was destroyed when it was an ancient civilization, the Otter one. Did you ever think about that? Now, there is one more thing to know about this map, and that is Phobos and Deimos. So, Lion has no idea, really. He's just kind of guessing. He's building his dock here. He does not know that this dock is actually really close to rich fishing grounds. And Superhero has built his dock, and both players have luckily built their dock next to rich fishing grounds. But sometimes Phobos and Deimos, which are the moons of Mars, are in corners that are opposite to the players. And that could actually be quite crazy. In the fishing, there's still some fish, but it's not as good out here. So these players are going to have a little bit more safe fish than normal. And there's also a little bit of gold back here. So if you are ever on the back foot for gold, you can always come back here and take gold. So Superhero, let's take a look at his Fog of War. Yeah, he doesn't know about Deimos either. Phobos and Deimos. He knows the lion's share of the map. That's right. So Superhero, it looks like Superhero has found War Lion's town center the hard way. So he knows where War Lion is very well, and that's about all he knows, is where the town center is. This map reminds me of a lot of Rapa Nui from Alchemy League Season 1. It's actually a very similar concept. Scant wood lines, except in the center. Big hill in the center. Now, we actually removed the relic from the center of the map. So, there are only 2 relics, and they are on the moons. So, it actually is conceivable to go full water and pick up both of the relics and have your monastery out here and be like totally losing the land and somehow win a relic victory. Well, they can't see these fish starting out. So the distance of the moon should be designed so that if your scout were standing right here, you would not be able to see the moon. I mean, maybe you could kind of get lucky. It does look sort of close here, so maybe you could see it, but then your opponent would also have an equal chance of seeing it. Mars moons spawn more space fauna. Well, yeah, there's space fish, Otter. There's no fish in space. These are space fish. Actually, they're not fish. They're whales. Space whales. So we got a barracks here from Lion. He's playing as the Green Goths. And let's see what Lion is doing. Let's actually talk about the players. I believe that he's on... Yeah, so he's doing Man-at-Arms, I think. He's got 3 on gold. I don't think he's doing Fast Castle. If he were, he would, you know, he'd have more buildings up. But he's got a lot of fish set up, and I think the plan is to feed his Man-at-Arms with fish. Space fauna, that's how Stellaris calls them. Oh, I think I've heard of Stellaris. It's the space game. So what's Superhero up to? Superhero's making a galley, because he wants to come over here and mess with War Lion's fish. And he's making some archers. So if you're Malians, Malians, they don't get, good... Oh, no! Lion is going scouts. Maybe he scouted the archery range. Let's actually see if that's the case. Has Lion scouted the archery range? Or is this just good instinct? So Lion is coming through here. He set his waypoints. No. He has not scouted the archery range yet, but he's still building a stable. So he was planning on going scouts the whole time. But archers are the right thing to build against man-at-arms, and Superhero has enough villagers to sustain archers from 1.5 archery ranges. He's probably going to get fletching and get caught up on the gold, and then he might build a second range. Not sure. Lion's housed. Lion making the militia, so we're going to see scouts and man-at-arms, which is fun. Lion wants to attack the spearmen, but the archers are going to attack Lion. This Photon Man has to run. Photon Man is decent against spearmen, but not against the archers. He needs more scouts for that. Now, I don't think Superhero has scouted War Lion's stable, so I don't think he knows about this. Oh, no, he has. Alright, he knows about it. So Superhero knows all about it. He's making another spearman. Does not want any scouts ravaging his wood line or anything like that. So, he's preparing. So what's this up here? Is Superhero going to come up here and clean these guys out? I think that would be a waste of his time. It would actually be bad for him. War Lion is building up his military. Does War Lion have man-at-arms yet? No, he's getting scout upgrades. He's got a single militia, but he is taking the fight before upgrades. I guess he feels kind of desperate. His wood line's right here. So he does not want to... He does not want to lose anything, any villagers. And the upgrades are about to come in for Lion. This is very good. He could actually fight this now. And he's going to build a very unfortunate tower. No, Superhero, what are you doing? This is a waste of time. War Lion is very happy that Superhero is content to just camp here. Superhero did not know that that tower was going up. If he did, he certainly would have tried denying it. I don't really like this tower very much. I think that it's easy to camp the base of it. I think it would have been better against this wood line or something, but I guess it is what it is. His wood line is there? Well, his wood line's kind of over here. The tower would have been better here, but he couldn't really get there. So Superhero's going to come around and look for some other damage and see if he can find War Lion's gold. There's all kinds of spare gold and stone on this map, even if wood is scarce. Yeah, it is a weird tower. And he finds War Lion's gold here. War Lion, a bunch of villagers have just rushed down this blacksmith. I'm not sure what's up with that. A couple villagers go down. War Lion needs to react here. I bet that War Lion is distracted microing against scouts. And he manages to kill that scout, and now he's fighting some villagers. Oh, come on, War Lion. He needs this villager here. Alright, I think he sees it. Yeah, that villager goes down. These scouts are powerful. They're well upgraded. And another villager goes down. Oh my goodness. And yeah, he's actually gonna... This is a disaster for Superhero to fight. But I also think War Lion has been hit very hard by this army. So both players have done a lot of damage to each other's economies. I ain't lying. This is looking bad. But yeah, both players have been hurt a lot. Like, Superhero just completely took Lion off of this gold. I'm not sure what happened to the villagers. Actually, we can count how many villagers they have. Lion has 37 and Superhero has 40. So, Lion has no fish. Actually, he has one fish and it's hiding at Superhero's dock. Superhero has the fish, and that's going to be his saving grace, I think. The last of Lion's scouts goes down. Lion has technically the score lead. Superhero's army is here. Lion was trying to take some stone. Superhero's on his way up to the castle age. Let's see where Lion is at. Lion is still in the feudal age. The Lion of War, War Lion. Glad he got his scout micro in Lion. Yeah, Lion wanted the scout micro. And it did a lot of damage for him. But the problem is Superhero, he doesn't really have an answer to Superhero's archers. He's got an archery range now, and he's kind of trickling skirmishers out of it. But it's, he's not there yet. You know, he can't really fight it yet. This villager's gonna go down. What? What? Okay, Superhero got it. I was like, what's Superhero? What are you doing? You could probably eject the skirmishers now and fight under this tower. So what's War Lion's plan? He's got a bunch of farms out, and he's making fire ships. Where's he making fire ships from? Is he making fire ships from... Yeah, he's just making fire galleys from this dock here and sending them over. This is really smart. He should absolutely be sinking these fishing ships from Superhero. There's no reason to let Superhero just have a free fish boom over here. And that's what's happening. So this is really smart from War Lion, and this is actually probably going to keep him in the game. If he's able to stay in the game for the next few minutes, this is why. But he's in the Castle Age, or he sees that his opponent's in the Castle Age now, and this is not good for him. Because he is nowhere close. So what's Superhero going to do with the Castle Age? Let's see what he's researching. So Superhero's going to make knights. Superhero believes that if he can make like a good group of 3 or 4 knights, he can basically clean up all of War Lion's feudal age economy, or feudal age military units, and dominate. And he's even getting the second armor too. Oh, Otter one. I don't know if the Otter one will meet. No, it doesn't look like the Otter one is anywhere near Lion. You will not meet him in the ranked, not in the ranked, but in our league. I wish that Lion had walled this in. I feel like he had plenty of time, and this would have been easy to wall. He's got knights on his wood line, though. I'm not sure how much longer he'll last. But it's been a good game so far. Very violent on both sides. Very chaotic. These knights are just absorbing this arrow fire from this tower. Let's take a look at villager count now. Lion down to 34 villagers. Superhero is pulling ahead at 41. So, Lion's just having a hard time. I don't think he'll last much longer. Superhero rolling forward with a mangonel. He's built himself a monastery, and he's going to begin sieging. Sieging Lion. Lion's garrisoned in this tower. He's actually invested in towers. He's built a second tower, so he's been taking stone. But Superhero is just too much for him here. The Otter one says, "Nah, you're only giving me 1,800 since I won Season 3. Well, that's your own fault, Otter, for being 1634 or 1617. What? You're not getting 1800s. You could be, well, actually, yeah, you could be getting Hyder and Sapson. I accepted his punishment for winning an Arabia game. Okay, Lion is somehow on his way to the Castle Age. He's hanging on. I think he sold everything that he owns, and he's on his way up to the Castle Age. So it puts the villagers back on resources. And his economy is a mess. What's he going to do in Castle Age? I'm not sure. But this is just so many knights, man. I don't know how you come back from this. Even if Lion could plop a castle down right here, I think he would still be in rough shape. It's not an easy map to wall either. Lion has 1 water. He's keeping Superhero off of water. He could consider going back on water himself, and I guess he has to an extent. He's got a couple of fishing ships on water. You're getting Hyder and Sapson a second time in a row. Well, we just don't have many people who are 1600. I wish we had more people closer to your skill level. Oh, you 2-0'd Hyder once on Arabia and Kreshvido. Lion has made a few scouts to pick off mangonels, and he does succeed there. He wants to keep this town center up. I bet he just wants to get Castle Age and then he'll resign. Just say, oh, I made it. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. So Superhero getting the better of Lion on this one. Lion has never played this map. Well, I think that Lion has actually played... he's played Rapa Nui, which is very similar to this map, but not the same. Yeah, I know that you can get revenge on Hyder, but he's gotten quite good lately, Hyder has. I think Alchemy League is very motivating for people to practice, and it picks their brain and makes them think creatively about maps and good strategies. I think it really does help people get better at Age. This one was dominant by Superhero. It's true, Superhero did a very good job this time. I'm trying to identify exactly if it was like just Lion making mistakes or if Superhero 55 had like a genius play. I think it was more so Lion just making mistakes. I think that Lion really failed to defend his town very well. And I think Superhero got here and ransacked his fish before Lion could do much about it. Surprising after game 1. The Otter one is behind in prep now. Well, I mean, Otter, you've got friends in the IU to help you practice, right? Isn't Funny Liquid your practice buddy? But a good set. So the next set that we're going to do... We're going to go over here to the different overlay now. So I can drag this across the screen. So we're going to do Maxi McZek versus the Napoleon. So we're looking at like 14 to 1500 and against 1150. So once you kind of get toward the tail end of Alchemy League, it's kind of hard. I don't believe that the Napoleon has any handicap here either. They were just barely out of it. It's tough because I want to be able to tell people if your tournament elo is beyond this range, you will get this amount, but I just can't. I can't yet. I've been slowly dialing up handicap for Alchemy League, but we're just not there. Prep is usually all I got. Well, it's important. Funny has lost to AOM. Ah, Age of Mythology. And I can still prep, but Hyder casting means he will out-prep me every time. Do you think that's why he's doing the casting? So we're going to see Maxi McZek versus the Napoleon. We should know that Maxi McZek just has a big advantage over Napoleon. But maybe Napoleon will pull off an upset. You never know. It's Alchemy League. The maps are crazy. So let's take a look at their civilization draft. You can see that random bands, Britons, Bulgarians, Chinese, Lithuanians, and Burgundians, and then they globally banned these civilizations, Hindustanis, Goths, Georgians, and Berbers, and Maxi McZek and Napoleon then took turns picking civilizations, with Mayans and Celts ultimately getting sniped. No, but it's a side effect. Maxi can Titanic. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Maxi can also be 1600, so it just really all depends. Alright, so let's go and check out the next games. Jupiter. Let's go. So Jupiter, the map looks like Jupiter. It looks like we've gotten a random variation of this map where it's all flat. So you could actually build town centers and boom in here and stuff. You've got the 4 Jovian satellites. Let's see, Ganymede, Io, Callisto, and Europa, I believe. The 4 main moons of Jupiter. Start with 1 boar and kind of scant food resources here. We've got a little bit of fish in corners, but you know, not very much. And there's shorefish out here too. You know, these moons have some wood on them. They're very volcanic generally because they're so close to Jupiter's pole, so you've got these steam vents rising. And we got the great red spot here. There isn't anything cool on it. Sorry, guys. It's just a big patch of dirt on a hill. Represents a high-pressure system, so that's why it's got higher elevation. The Otter one says, you've done a really good job of emulating the character of the planets, by the way. Aw, thanks, Otter. They do feel like the planets. You know, Otter, I try. I really do try. Too much gravity for the space fauna. Well, yeah, I like to think that these zebra are specially adapted to surviving on a planet with such high gravitation. So we can already see that... okay, Maxie is playing as the red Persians, and the Napoleon is playing as the blue Gurjaras. So the Napoleon has garrisoned his sheep in this mill, and they will provide a constant trickle of wood for him. And Maxie's going to come over here. I honestly don't know what Maxie is doing, and Napoleon is on his way to chase him. Oh no! No! Napoleon! Napoleon does not have loom. Oh no! This villager getting a shank. I think Napoleon's going to save that villager, but already we can see that Maxie has sniped a villager on the berries. Oh, thanks, the Otter one. It's honestly not the research. It's the fact that over the course of years, I have developed specialized scripting tools to be able to make anything. Have my maps ever been featured in S-tier tournaments? No, because I'm not a good enough sycophant for that. But this, you know, and I try to help other scripters too, and there are some people in the community that have access to those tools, and I want us all, you know, as map makers in the community to work together and like improve this toolbox and help each other make awesome stuff. But like, could anybody else in the community have made Jupiter like this? Not really. In the random map scripting community in general, the global community, it would have taken them a very long time. Maxie McCheck. So he has walled his villager in, and he's attacking this mill here. So anyway, I'm very proud of the scripting tech, and there's a lot of really creative stuff that other people could do with it, and I'm really hoping that other map makers will come in and get to know us and have me trust them and be part of this community that develops map making software so that we can make stuff like this. Because in general, you can't make something like this in Age of Empires unless you're crazy. Cast the Maxie craziness. Okay, well the Maxie is attacking this mill with a villager, and he's also sending some villagers forward for seemingly no reason. And this is a lot of villagers too. This looks like a town center drop kind of villager aggression. Let's see. He's at 19 pop. He's at 20 pop technically. 19 villagers, and he's moving out across the map. And I believe that he will delete his town center and rebuild it right next to his opponent. And this could work on this map because all the wood lines are pretty much forward. So well, I mean, if he builds it here, he could deny this wood line, which is the smart thing to do right now, is to build it right here. If he's, well, okay, the town center drop is never the smart thing to do. But if he's going to do it, this is the best location to build it. Well, alright. I guess that might work. I mean, it could deny this and this as long as he walls this in. But the Napoleon can just come down here for wood. I would honestly just ignore this if I were the Napoleon. Napoleon does have a safe wood line up here. So if you're going to do this, Maxie, you got to target the villagers. Don't target the town center at first. Target the villagers first and kill villagers, and then if you can't kill any villagers, then attack the town center. Alright, he's doing it now. Maxie isn't smart, he just lives on the panic of others. Otter, that's mean! But he does like chaos, seemingly. He's walled in this wood line here. Rubenstock style. So Napoleon is going to just come over here and build another lumber camp. But he doesn't have the wood for it yet. He's been repairing his town center. Oh no. And he's out of these reeds. He's out of reeds. So he's got to chop here, deliver it here, and he has to stop repairing his town center. Otherwise, he won't have any wood. So these villagers are on their way back. They're going to drop off at this lumber camp. He could have just collected from here. It would have been a shorter walk. And I think he just needs to let his town center go down at this point. Otter says he respects it. It works. Yeah, he just needs to collect here. But the Napoleon is panicking. He's not sure what to do. And Maxi McCheck is on his way up to the feudal age. They're having a scout duel here. Is Maxi McCheck going to win this? I think he is. Yep, Photon Man goes down. Town Center goes down. And now it's time to villager rush. So surely the Napoleon has realized that he can just chop here. Napoleon should relocate his villagers right here. There's no reason not to. Villager fight. The Napoleon is surrounded. That villager goes down. And where's Maxi going? He's going to get these pigs. Maybe finish destroying the mill. Does Maxi know about what Napoleon is doing, actually? He sees that there are villagers chopping wood here, but he doesn't know that the Napoleon is taking wood from over here. But he sees the villagers, so he must know this is where I go. This is where I'm going to go to kill my opponent. It's true. The Napoleon is panicked. And so now they're going to villager fight. Napoleon's sending everything. So how much does Napoleon have in terms of resources? He has enough to build another lumber camp, but not enough to build a town center. No town center could be a problem. So now Napoleon is going to take wood here. It'll be a shorter walk for him. And then he'll be able to rebuild his town center once he has enough wood. But he notices that Maxi has come back for more. So he's going to vil fight him some more. It's 20 villagers. 11 of them belong to Napoleon. And 9 of them belong to Maxi McCheck. Okay, the Napoleon has gotten enough wood for a new town center. And he's going to build it here. I would actually build it right here. This is a way better spot. You know that you can't get town center dropped from over here. You could wall this off, and it would be right on this wood line. It would actually be quite nice. And he should send all of his villagers to build it. I'm not sure why he's screwing around with this. Barracks coming up for Maxi McCheck. Is Maxi McCheck castle age yet? Well, he's built a dock, and he's going to be taking some of this fish. He's got a fishing ship there, and he's building another dock, which is kind of a strange choice, because these docks are right next to each other. Why does he need 2 docks right now? That's what I want to know. Of course, Persians for the Persian douche. Double the HP on their town centers. I really don't know what the value of this is. Like, why is Napoleon still here? Just walk out, man. Just, like, walk around here. Go home. But, panic time. Persian douche panic. He can't get out. Maxi McCheck is going to repair this house faster than he can destroy it. He's afraid of the town center. Actually, he might just be able to maybe chop his way through. That's 100 in these reeds. The wood storage in these reeds is also random, if I remember correctly. These reeds have 150 wood in them apiece. But I think it could be anywhere from 50 to 150. I'd have to check the code. Let me do that now, actually. I'm actually kind of curious. I'm very curious. Another big bloodbath, but this time Maxi McCheck outnumbers the Napoleon significantly. So the Napoleon really cannot fight this. He must leave. Napoleon has gotten to the feudal age, and he needs more than 7 villagers. He needs to get his people to safety. Alright, he does finally decide to just brave the town center arrow fire and just run through. If Maxi McCheck had his wits about him, he would have quick-walled this with like a gate or something. But it's fine. He's done the damage. The Napoleon is going to build a market to help himself get up. What is the Napoleon's villager count? He's got 14 villagers. Not good. Where's Napoleon going? Just going to the opposite side of the map. No, he's coming up here, and he's going to explore the great red spot of Jupiter. I don't know if he knows he can just go through here. No, he doesn't know. He's just going to make his stand on a hill. Oh, poor Napoleon. So let's take a look at Jupiter and see if the tree wood storage is randomized. So Napoleon has 8 villagers left and Maxi McCheck has 40. Napoleon not prepared for the Persian douche. I think I might just fast forward through the rest. I don't see how Napoleon can come back from this. Do we have anything else? I guess he's tower rushing Maxi. Maxi gonna rush the tower down with a bunch of villagers. Fighting over it. And Napoleon finally calling the GG. Yeah, that was rough. So I'm just checking now, and I can't tell why the trees have 100 at this time. I can't tell why the trees have 150 wood in them apiece. These reeds, they normally have 50. Yeah. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. But it is unusual. I know that I randomized a lot about it. So these are all going to look very one-sided, as Napoleon only got 1 kill and Maxi McCheck got 20. So Maxi McCheck with the way better villager micro. And a little bit of good luck with the town center shooting villagers. Let's take a look at game 2. So, game 2 is on Saturn. Saturn is kind of our version of enclosed. It's got a little bit, I think, smaller of a forest circle. And you've got these other circles representing the rings of Saturn. And these are perfectly flat, as they must be, because it is Saturn. They got some stone, right, but it's mostly dust. And there's some box turtles in these rings. Now, you can wall across this completely. Some people like to dock these rings. Some people like to come out here and dock in the ocean. or the space around Saturn. We'll see what these players do. We got Maxi McCheck playing as the red Spanish. Spanish are very much of a meme civilization. They're the civ that you play when you want to have fun, but you don't necessarily care about douching as much. I mean, Persians are better for douching, but Spanish are better for everything else. So we'll see what happens. But he could do all kinds of stuff. He could do like bombard towers. He could do monks. He could do those donkey rushes, conquistadors. He's got a ton of options as Spanish. I actually really like Spanish. I don't get to play them nearly as much because they're just as available to me as Byzantines, and Byzantines are just better. But Spanish are fun. I enjoy the games I play as Spanish. I love their Inquisition monks just lightning converting people. It's like mo or would, and then you're converted. It's so quick. So what do you do as Romans against the Spanish? Okay, Napoleon with a pretty graceful boar lure there. I mean, the boars are not traveling very far. I mean, they practically start within range of your town center. It's enclosed in that sense. What do you want to do if you're Romans? Well, I think Romans they have the potential to be a better infantry crawl civilization than the Spanish. Spanish don't really have any particular bonuses for that, but they do get fully upgraded. Spanish do get fully upgraded champions and fully upgradable monks. So, if you think about all the nasty things that Romans can throw at you, the legionaries with the scorpion support and the centurions. Two of those three things can be converted by monks pretty easily, and so then that just leaves the fact that you've got some champions attacking you, or not champions, but centurions, and then they're better than your own champions. But maybe you mix in just a few hand cannons, and it's like fine. So really, Spanish are the superior civilization here. But the thing that makes the Romans good is they have better economy, and their power spikes are sooner. Let's see what Otter says about them. He says, people pick Romans for shorefish, I think, even though I never got why. Probably man-at-arms. So, yeah, I agree. I think the Romans have better early game options than the Spanish do, especially considering nobody wants to make archers as the Spanish. And because nobody wants to make archers, people struggle to fight off man-at-arms. So, I mean, you could make archers as the Spanish, but then you won't be able to upgrade them into crossbowmen, which is something that everybody loves. So yeah, as Spanish, you just try to, you either do your scout rush and then you move on, or you try to do a fast castle and get your conchs out. You don't really see a lot of play from Spanish in Feudal Age besides scouts. I guess you could go man-at-arms as Spanish, and their blacksmith upgrades require no gold, but I mean, that doesn't really save you much for the man-at-arms, unless you're getting like the armor or something. So yeah, I don't really know. I see Spanish go scouts. I don't really ever see them do anything different. But Romans, so here's the thing about Romans. Their infantry get twice the benefit from blacksmith upgrades, but they only get the first two. So they basically it evens out by the time you get to the Imperial Age, I believe, but you get the armor benefits ages before, sooner than other people, unless those people are Malians, which in that case they get better pierce armor but not better melee armor. So Romans get inferior pierce armor to the Malians but better melee armor. So it's a little bit better spread out. But not like Teutons, which get better melee armor, but only starting in the Castle Age. There's all kinds of complex stuff. Maxi McCheck has decided to take stone out here. I guess you don't get a player assigned stone, really. It's pretty much just on the outer ring. So the Napoleon is going to take these shorefish, and he's going to do it pretty quickly. Maxi McCheck is already halfway to the Feudal Age. He's going to cautiously wall off his enclosed area. Now you can, of course, just wall this off, right? But this is your gold is always forward, And there's a ton of resources out here and not a lot of space back here. So you can wall yourself in, but that's exactly what you're doing. You're walling yourself in. You're not walling them out, really. Because being out here is a good thing. It's where all the resources are. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. So let's see where Napoleon's at. He's feudal age. He's building a fishing ship. He's built a dock, actually. I don't know why he would dock here. This seems kind of a bad place to dock. I would think you'd want to build your dock in the middle so that you could more efficiently take the fish out here. Because right now, for here, he has to he has to sail all the way up here if he wants to take these fish. I mean, it's true, these fish are closer, but these fish are way further away. It'd be more efficient to be in the middle. But either way, it's more efficient than what Maxi has done, which is nothing. So Maxi McCheck is not on fish at all. So let's see what Napoleon knows of his opponent. Napoleon has found a house here, so that's Napoleon's extent of his knowledge about what Maxi McCheck is up to. So he knows that his opponent has built a house. There isn't much shorefish in the middle. Yeah, but you don't really want to take from the shorefish. So he knows that his opponent has done the strategy where he builds a house. Let's see what Maxi McCheck knows. Maxi McCheck knows where the Napoleon's town center is, and he's chasing Napoleon's scout, actually. He wants to fight this off. Now, you can garrison your scout in the town center to heal it. So, it's not as big of a deal as the traditional scout. Yeah, I should do an update to Comet to make sure that the scouts are correct. That we use the Photon Man instead of the traditional scout. The Ville needs a shorefish. Oh, well, there's one right here. Otter, there's one right here and there's one right here. Making excuses. What's this? Just a random goat rotting underneath. So Maxi McCheck is on his way to the castle age. It makes sense. I mean, he's Spanish. It's what they do. They do fast castle and conks generally. Or donks. I actually prefer the donks, but a lot of people like the conks. Conk and donk. I have a friend called BBB who plays the Spanish, and that's what he does. He does conks or donks. It just depends. And they're both very entertaining, the way that he does them. He didn't find him. So Maxi McCheck is over here, and he is just putting a casual 6-7 on, and he's actually building a tower here. I think this tower is a waste of time. I don't know why he would build this tower here. It just slows down his castle. But he feels like he needs to defend it. Maybe he spotted these units from Napoleon moving up. These are Roman archers. Romans are not exactly known for their archers, but yeah, could do some damage potentially. Napoleon's knowledge is he has no knowledge that Maxi McCheck is out here, so he can't go after this. But Maxi McCheck doesn't know that, so that's why he built this tower here. So Napoleon's going to look for some damage, but he's going to be disappointed. Maxi McCheck, I think, is kind of overreacting. Look at this. He's building stone walls here. Who cares? Who cares if his opponent with these 3 archers shoots down this gate? Does he really need this stone wall here? Yeah, this is a very bizarre mill. Maybe he probably just could not fit it anywhere else. And he's gotten the range upgrade, too, Maxi has. He just saw this circle expand for the watchtower. And he's getting armor. Presumably for conquistadors. And he's continuing to collect stone. He's in Castle Age, but he can't afford to build the castle yet. So the Napoleon is just kind of walking around looking for something to do with these archers. But he's not going to find anything unless he comes over here. He sent more units, too. Napoleon could use a lumber camp refresh. And Napoleon could also use a mill refresh and a mining camp refresh in the form of another mining camp. But he's got a good fishing fleet here. As he just decides to be content with working on this gate. So Maxi McCheck has officially massed up the stone necessary to build a castle. Now this castle will go up because Spanish castles just always go up, regardless of whether or not they're reasonably placed. Regardless of whether or not you're like, oh, hey, I know that you live here, and this is literally the center of your base, and you've got army here, but never mind me, I'm just going to build the biggest fortification in the game in the middle of your army because I'm Spanish and I can. Ugh. It's almost as bad as Sicilians. So, this castle is going to go up no matter what. Not that Napoleon was trying to deny it, but even if he had been, he would not have been able to deny that. With 10 archers, he could not have denied that. It's just what the Spanish do. But the Napoleon is also Castle Age, so the Napoleon is not too scared of that, but he needs to make sure that he fixes his rally points so that his units don't run into their deaths. Oh, the Napoleon has found this. Well, this is a good win for the Napoleon. He's going to camp the base of this tower with his archers. One of them goes down, though, but he's got 4 archers here, so that'll be pretty annoying. The Napoleon has fletching, so it'll be harder for Maxi to pop these villagers out of the watchtower and fight them off. But Maxi's making conquistadors. He's got 1 conquistador now. He's making a couple more. And if these conquistadors get in here on this wood line, or they get over here on this gold, Napoleon is going to be in a world of hurt. But I think Maxi's going to send his conquistadors over here first to liberate this gold. Is this where he's taking gold, actually? Oh, wow, it is, actually. So this is a good find for Napoleon, because as long as these archers are here and Maxi is not taking this gold, it means that he can't make any more conquistadors. That was unfortunate micro from the Napoleon. I feel like he could have maybe slowly circled in and closed the distance and helped out attacking this tower with the Photon Man, but it is what it is. At least he got the crossbow upgrade, and he got the range upgrade, so these are actually pretty much impossible to fight off with villagers now. And he could overpower them with these conquistadors, but he's going to need more conquistadors too. But the conquistadors are actually not going over there. They're looking for damage of their own. So they're going to come in this way to see if they can find anything. The Napoleon has not built a mining camp here. However, he has built a town center on this outermost gold. And the Napoleon is actually taking a lot of gold. Yeah, look at how much gold the Napoleon has. He needs to refresh his lumber camp, and so that's what he's doing. And then he needs to... I would actually build it over here. And I'll tell you why. Because over here, it's safe from conquistadors. In this way, you can have 3 conquistadors run up here and kill 3 villagers before you ever know what happened. So it's always best to chop the thick parts of the wood, in my opinion. He's sending more skirmishers up this way. Somehow these archers have left or been killed. Looks like they've been killed. I don't see where they went. Oh, no, 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 Napoleon, no! The conquistadors have found his stone. He had nothing on that stone to defend it. And these villagers all go down. And the thing is that he had the skirms to fight that off, but they were in the middle of nowhere. So they weren't even helping him. Now he's got to pull off of his gold, too, and these conquistadors are going to get another villager kill. Napoleon just not protecting his villagers at all. So, lost a bunch of villagers there. Maxi McChick actually took the villager lead as a result of that. I believe that this villager delta is pretty much what Maxi McChick killed in his raid. Maybe a little bit more than what he killed, but still... this is going to be hard to come back from, but that doesn't mean that Napoleon can't. He's already got enough skirmishers. He was sort of expecting the conquistadors, so these skirmishers are going to help keep his base safe. Probably what will happen is Maxi McCheck will come in around this way and try to pick off some villagers. Actually, no, he heads back. Well, that's good. So now Maxi McCheck is seeing these skirmishers, and we're probably going to see a stable or a siege workshop to deal with the skirmishers. Maxi McCheck has also built another town center here, and he's made some farms around it too. So you can tell that he's well established in that location. So what's Maxi McCheck doing? He's making another skirmisher, and there it is. So he's making a stable. Making a stable, so he'll probably get the light cav upgrade. Maybe he'll make knights, but I think it'll be light cav. They have the same pierce armor, but don't cost any gold. So we can probably expect light cav. Another raid. This town center's still not up. I don't know what these villagers... I guess these villagers were fishing. 2 more villagers picked off for Maxi McCheck. He's got another wave of conquistadors ready to go out. So if you're in the Napoleon, what do you do right now? I think the skirmishers are a smart choice. I think also, actually, the Napoleon would really benefit from just stonewalling off. Like, what if he built some stone walls here and some stone walls here? It would cost him 200 stone to wall this off. Maybe a little bit more. And then he would never have to worry about conquistadors running through here. You know, and he could station a few skirmishers behind it. I mean, think about it. Like, these conquistadors have done thousands of resources worth of damage. They've killed like 10 villagers. So if you look at the trade, like, it's totally worth it to stonewall on this map, in my opinion. Especially if your opponent is going to make ships, which is actually another possibility. Like, I would love to see somebody get to Imperial Age and make dromons in these rings. Like, could you imagine having 4 Roman dromons here, just and they come up and just, you know, destroy your town center, destroy your castle, destroy most of your community? They could totally do that. So we got a wave of conquistadors here, another wave of conquistadors over here, and he's just going to keep running around and distracting Napoleon and picking off villagers here or there, withering Napoleon down. His fishing ships are they being microed to the corner? Yes, they are. They're being microed to the corner so they can't be picked off by the conquistadors, but they would like to be fishing these fishing shoals. So let's do a villager count. Let's check in on villagers here. So Maxi McCheck with 65 and the Napoleon with 58. So actually the Napoleon is kind of catching up. I think he's doing a better job of keeping his town centers working, making villagers, and he's building a university. And that tells me that Napoleon is seriously considering advancing to the Imperial Age soon. Yeah, he's almost got the food. So Maxi McCheck is on his way up to the Imperial Age, and the Napoleon is going to click soon. Just got to wait for his university to go up. Maybe he'll cancel some villagers or some units, and then he'll click to the Imperial Age. And that'll be a good power spike for him. I think Romans are most powerful like early Imperial Age. Maxi McCheck taking a fight against these skirmishers, microing against them. No ballistics for the Napoleon. Napoleon wants to build a castle here, but this is not going to go up. He has no army. This castle would have been better to build. Yeah, and he knows it too. He just brings his villagers back. He's like, nah. I'm not going to be able to get that up. The conchs are too close, which is good instinct from Napoleon. Although, if he had dropped it sooner, when the skirmishers were dying from the micro, he maybe could have. So he's going to build it on his wood line instead. This is a good spot. This is a cautious spot. You know, he could have built it right here in like an aggressive posture, but his opponent could be Imperial Age before him and could make Trebs and Treb it down, and it could be hard for the Napoleon to respond. And I think that actually Maxi McCheck will be Imperial Age very soon. Yeah, within a few seconds. So it makes a lot of sense building it here, I think. It secures him a lot of wood. Wood struggles on this map, really, too, if you want to know the truth. Like, there are some forests out here, but, you know, each of these is only 50 wood apiece. It's half the usual amount. So it looks like there's a lot of wood, but it's deceptively lean. Maxi McCheck igniting his, or not igniting, uniting his armies. Napoleon wishes that he were igniting. So here's a castle drop from the Spanish. It'll go up because it's Spanish. It's kind of a conservative castle drop. I don't know that if Maxi McCheck knows. Yeah, so for all he knows, maybe Napoleon is taking resources over here, but Napoleon is not. Napoleon's taking his resources over here. He's got his Roman castle, and Maxi McCheck pulling back, deciding not to build this castle. What? That must have been a misclick. That must have been a misclick. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? Who runs up and builds 22% of a castle and then decides, oh no, I need these villagers to make a town center? So, can Napoleon see this is the question. So the Napoleon, luckily for Maxi McCheck, the Napoleon does not know that it's there. If he did, he'd probably try destroying it. So villager count, Maxi McCheck 89 to the Napoleon's 55. Okay, now we're ready to finish. So Maxi McCheck is coming back with some villagers to finish the job. He's just like, yeah, you know, we need to get this castle to 22%, and then we're good to go for a little bit, and then we'll come back and finish it. So now he's going to do that. Conquistadors are going to signal that the Napoleon is under attack. Yeah, the skirms are no more. The Napoleon has not made any more. Well, actually, there are some over here. He made some more. He's got 2 ranges. He was making skirms. And Napoleon, calling the GG, sees the castle goes up, knows that his opponent is Imperial Age, and reaches Imperial Age himself, and decides that he is too far behind to continue. He made a single centurion. Let's take a look at the statistics. Maxi McCheck with, again, 63 kills. Very few deaths. Just very far ahead of the Napoleon. Superior economy. Superior advancement times besides feudal. 2 castles. Neither player are getting relics. 95 villager high. So overall, rough set for Napoleon, but we appreciate him sticking through. And hopefully the rest of the league will be a little bit better for him. It's tough for the guys on the lower end because most of their opponents are higher elo than them. But we have a new prize calculation factor that considers the average elo of your opponents. So if in the league you're fighting opponents who are on average way better than you or have significantly higher elo than you are, you will get a bonus when it comes to calculating final score that determines earnings for the league. So that is something to consider. Yeah, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks, Otter, for sticking around. So we'll see you guys later for the next cast. I hope to cast again this weekend, and we'll get in some more games. So thank you guys so much, and have a good night.